That's not a satisfactory point of order. Question number 11, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Economic Development, what support is the government giving to attract major events to New Zealand?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, through the Major Events Development Fund, the government is making a significant investment to attract a number of world-class events. Yesterday, for example, the schedule for Cricket World Cup 2015 was announced in Wellington and Melbourne, attended by Prime Minister John Key in Wellington and Kevin Rudd in Melbourne. 14 host cities were announced, split evenly between New Zealand and Australia, with matches across New Zealand in Napier, Hamilton, Dunedin, Nelson, pool matches in a quarter-final in Wellington, a semi-final and Australia-New Zealand pool match in Auckland, and the opening match of the tournament scheduled for Christchurch. The government is investing $5 million in the tournament from the Major Events Development Fund. Mr. Speaker, the 1992 Cricket World Cup was successful on and off the pitch for New Zealand, and we look forward to once again welcoming the world here to show off our hospitality.
Supplementary question, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Economic Development, what are the benefits of this and other major events to New Zealand?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, of course, this particular event will bring many benefits, not least the ability of New Zealanders to see their fine team coming up against the best in the world. But as we've seen from the success of hosting Rugby World Cup 2011, these sorts of visitors to these events tend to stay on longer than the tournament itself. They spend significant amounts on travel and accommodation while they're here. Today, Mr. Speaker, I released the findings of an economic analysis of the government's investment in major events. 18 events funded between February 2010 and April 2012 were evaluated, with the government's investment of $7 million collectively generating around $32 million of net benefit for this country. The evaluation shows the government's investment in major events is generating substantial economic benefits for you, Mr. Peters, growing businesses, Mr. Peters, and delivering more and higher-paying jobs for New Zealanders.
Order.
Surely that answer
Order. I haven't called the member yet. Point of order, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Surely that answer was far too long. Unless his object was to put Mogadon out of business.
And that's not a helpful point of answer either, but... Question number 12, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.